Hey, my beautiful family and friends, my reflections. How are we? Doing good and preparing for this blood moon, this total eclipse that is happening tonight. If you're watching this on Sunday, September 7th, first of all, it's going to be blood red, dark red when you look at it, and possibly like enormous if you go out maybe around 7 and look at it. It's going to be big. This kind of eclipse is rare because basically the earth is between the moon and the sun. It's like the moon is right in front of the earth, the sun is right behind the earth. And so the sun is being blocked by the earth. The sun is usually what illuminates the moon, right? But now it's actually the earth's atmosphere, like the light that the earth gives off, that's illuminating the moon, and that's what gives it that red color. And the Earth's atmosphere is also what gives the sun that red color when it's setting on some nights. And so it happens to be in Pisces. Spiritually, full moons are about releasing as it is. But when you have a blood moon, that's actually an omen about release and revelation. And so the Pisces energy is very deep energy, it's very spiritual, very mysterious, very like fantasy and creative energy. And so it brings endings because of the full moon and the eclipse, but also new beginnings. We've been talking a lot about new beginnings. This moon is basically stirring up emotions that have been kept hidden. And so it's a cosmic spotlight on all the parts that need transformation. And for me, there's been different revelations that are revealing themselves, right? And my reaction to those revelations has changed. And so that's what's letting me know that that old way that I used to be is ending, and that I'm evolving into a new me. One of the things that I can do is give advice about how to work with this full moon energy, this eclipse in Pisces energy, because it is going to be strong. And if you're not used to this energy, if you're not a Pisces, or if you're not someone that is around Pisces people or in that energy a lot, it can really get dark, it can get intense, and it can be just a whirlwind. And so to prepare, stay in, don't be out directly in that energy. That's one piece of advice. I have in my pocket this cinnamon and salt. This is my carnelian crystal and a bay leaf. And the cinnamon I put in as sweetness to sweeten the energy that I'm in right now currently for today and the next couple of days. The salt is for protection, so that my energy stays protected and high frequency. And the bay leaf is for prosperity in this energy, which is about, protecting your peace, protecting your prosperity and health and wealth and all things good. And the carnelian is to really lean on my creativity and my passion projects, because that's what makes me feel the most connected to my true self. My authentic self is when I'm creating something. If I am feeling overwhelmed by some of the revelations or heavy emotions that the full moon has been stirring up, then maybe I'll work on a song, or maybe I'll work on a sewing project or an art project, or maybe I'll journal and write. But leaning on my creativity is really where I'm going to use the good parts of the Pisces energy for my own protection and for my own good. And by using that cinnamon, that is me attracting just the sweet parts, the good parts of this full moon to me. And so I'll be wearing this, and you can easily do the same. We still have time before the full moon emerges. And so that's how I prepared, and I recommend you do the same. The other part of this video is going to be a pick a card reading. I'll be asking the cards basically how the blood moon will personally affect us. I'll ask, what do we need to release, and what gifts are waiting on the other side of this full moon? And so if you are interested in that reading. Stay tuned, and we'll be getting started in just a moment. And so take a deep breath, ground yourself, plant your feet on the ground. One more deep breath, and let's go and start the reading. All right, these are the 3 piles. We got pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Ask yourself which pile you feel the most drawn to, and that will be your message under this blood moon. So there are timestamps in the description if you want to jump straight to your pile. But what pile will it be? 1, 2, or 3? Choose now. All right, pile 1, kicking it off with this card here. This comes from my Oracle Coloring Pages Club. If you scan this code, you get a reading that's called Eternal Bloom. So that is the card that you selected, and it comes with a matching coloring page, as you can see when you join the Oracle Coloring Pages Club. And so it is a fun way to mix spirituality and creativity into one. But I also have these tarot cards to clarify the reading in the context of the blood moon. But this Eternal Bloom card reminds you that, there's seasons of shadows, seasons of blossoming, and that's how the moon is as well. There's cycles that repeat. Sometimes the moon looks like a crescent, and sometimes it looks like a full moon, and it has come around to being that eclipse moon once again. And so this card and the blood moon highlights that cycles of growth, they don't end, they just transform. And so your growth never stops. This looks like a infinity symbol, and then there's growth all around it. And so it basically is nudging you to trust that even what feels like death or decay or like endings, in nature, death and decay actually feeds future roots. And so the future roots are able to grow because that death and decay fertilizes the soil. And so how the blood moon will affect you, that's what I asked for the first card. And there was the 3 of Pentacles reversed. And so that means it came out upside down. And this card, it looks like this when it's right side up, but when it comes out upside down, it is actually shining a light on areas where teamwork and collaboration aren't working as smoothly as you'd like. And so maybe that's something that you're experiencing at this time of the blood moon. You might be feeling underappreciated or overlooked, or like your skills aren't being valued the way that they should be. You can see this man here, he's using his skills to maybe carve this ornate design here, and then these people are looking like they don't really approve or appreciate the skill that it took to create that. And so when this is in reverse, it suggests a breakdown in harmony. So whether there's a breakdown in harmony at work or in family or creative projects even, the blood moon is asking you to notice those areas where your contribution is being minimized, and stop giving your energy to spaces that don't see your worth. I was giving away the butterflies paint it yourself kits, and no one was taking me up on that offer. And that made me feel underappreciated, that I couldn't even give away paint kits. Why are people looking at it and not seeing the value that it brings, that painting brings? That is something that I have been offering, and it's a creative project that, it should bring families together. It should do all of these positive things. but it was just not wanted, right? And so moving on to what you're being asked to release, I pulled this Nine of Swords, and this card is about worry and sleepless nights and carrying too much guilt or anxiety. And so the blood moon wants you to release this. This is what I had to release by worrying about how much money I spent on an ad to promote the free Paint It Yourself kits. It was only $60, so it's not the end of the world. And I didn't need to feel guilt or anxiety about it. And so I kept it moving. And so basically the blood moon is a cosmic intervention. It's going to come at this time and say to you, you don't have to keep suffering in silence. So release that habit of overthinking and punishing yourself. That's what comes with trying to hold everything together for others. If you just admit it, like, I've been suffering, this isn't working for me. I've been trying to appear like everything's fine, but really, this is something that brings me sleepless nights or, fear. But your fears, they don't define you, they're shadows. And doing the shadow work means that you're transmuting those fears. Your fears are always there to be transmuted. That's the opportunity that you gain from examining your fears. And on the other side of this blood moon, there's a gift. And so the gift that's waiting for you on the other side is the Queen of Wands reversed. And I know what you're thinking, it's reversed, so everything that the Queen of Wands represents, it's pretty much the opposite. And how is that a gift? Well, I know at first glance this reversal feels like blocked confidence, or because the Queen of Wands is a confident queen, so if it's reversed, it's a blockage of confidence, right? But here's the gift. Once you release that anxiety and stop tying your worth to the validation, right? That external validation, you begin to reclaim your fire. The Queen of Wands reversed says that your power has been dimmed, but it hasn't been extinguished. And so in my case, I just said, you know what? It's not the right time for selling Paint It Yourself kits. I'm going to put my focus elsewhere and kind of put a pause on that venture for now. It's not totally being quit, but it's being paused. And later, when the time is right, when there's more of a budget to do more with it, when there's even more notoriety coming from other things like my paintings or my sewing projects or my music projects, then that's when I'll be able to reintroduce those Paint It Yourself kits and offer them again. Like, I'll have the exposure at that time to be able to put it out, and it'll have more value later. So for you, there's something that might have value later that you're putting too much worry and anxiety into. And so on the other side of this eclipse, the gift is rediscovering your magnetism and your independence. And you don't need approval to radiate. I don't need sales to radiate. I don't need people saying, that they like my business, or that they, think that I'm a good entrepreneur or whatever. And neither do you. You don't need that outside approval. It comes from within. And so you need to just realign with your own flame. Join the Oracle Coloring Pages Club so you can scan this and receive the full message that it contains, because this is key. It basically assures you that this is not the end of your growth. it's not punishment, it's a pruning moment. Because by releasing the mental loops and the guilt and all that has held you hostage, you're making space to reclaim your charisma and your confidence and your power. And so this eclipse is asking you to let go of worrying about how others see your contribution and instead step into the truth that your gifts are enough just as they are. And so I'm going to pull some doodles now from my doodle box. Let's move that. This is my doodle box. I have been collecting my doodles for years, and I'm just kind of shuffling them up right now, and I have my eyes closed. And I'm going to pull out 3 different doodles. There's one. Spirit, help me find the doodles that support pile 1's message. 2, one more. 3. Okay, let's see what came out. Oops, didn't mean to smash that one. Okay, so we got these today. An extra one wanted to come out. Well, this is quite a mystic looking dog. He's able to levitate. He's a magician. He's wearing a cape, a magic cape. And he's got his hands up in a pose that some magicians do when they're working their magic. So, a flying dog. Do with that what you will. This is interesting. It has Have Max on here. This is an old way that I would sign my art, and I feel like that is reemerging for me. So maybe there's something reemerging for you that had been suppressed for a while or in the shadows. That is what this represents. And then it's just a face, half of a smiling face. She has wavy hair. Maybe you have wavy hair. But she looks happy. And you only see part of the face. You don't see the whole face. And so that means that she only shows part of herself. And the other part she keeps to herself. And then this fish wanted to come out. Pisces energy, because you can turn it either way. So it's like 2 fish in 1, right? That's interesting. Pisces blood moon, right? And then this seems to be a love fest, a doodle about this loving energy. You know, some creativity and passion seems to want to overflow. And so that is what is oozing inside, just waiting for you to let it out. All right, so pile 1, that is your reading. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe if this reading resonated with you. And I'm going to move on to pile 2 now. So until next time, peace. Love you. All right, pile 2, it's your turn. Pile 2, you picked this card. It is called Claim the Spotlight. This comes from my Oracle Coloring Pages Club. And so if you scan this QR code, you will receive the full message for this card. And it comes with a matching coloring page. And so it's very cool because you can color while listening to this full message, and it combines creativity and spirituality all in one. And I send out 8 new Oracle cards each month. We are up to a full deck of cards by now, but this is a fun way to grow your own Oracle card deck, custom, because all of these artworks were created by me. And so if you're into Oracle cards, I highly recommend joining the Oracle Coloring Pages Club. The link is in the description. But let's get into Claim the Spotlight. This is basically a direct call telling you to step out of the shadows and embrace visibility. This card looks like darkness or a shadow, void. And these shapes, these flowers, and all of the things surrounding this mandala, if you will, they look like they're neon or like they're glowing, and they are visible coming out of the darkness. And so the blood moon is revealing places where you've dimmed yourself, where you've hidden your gifts or hesitated to be seen in your full light. And so this is your full light wanting to shine, and it's been dimmed. It's still surrounded by this darkness, and that dark energy has been pulling you back. But now the blood moon energy is pulling you toward recognition, but also accountability, so that you can own up to who you truly are with no apologies. All right, stop caring about what people think. That's what judgment is. If people been judging you, and maybe that's how this blood moon will affect you, because this is a card of awakening, of reckoning and clarity, and you can just see it. The blood moon is stirring up something like this trumpet sounding that it can't be ignored. Let an angel come and start blowing a trumpet, everyone below is going to see it and be affected by it. But that's what's happening within you. You're getting stirred up by the blood moon energy. You may suddenly see your life from a higher perspective, because this is a turning point. This is like an opportunity to step into a more aligned version of yourself. And so this is what you're being asked to release. It's in reverse. It's the Eight of Cups. Look how the moon, the full moon right here, or the sun, is looking at you as you walk away from these cups. It's in reverse. So imagine all of these cups, if they had something in it, when they're turned upside down, every drop is empty in these cups. So all of these cups are empty now. And you need to realize that. It's as if you're having difficulty walking away from these empty cups. These have all been unfulfilling, and for a long time. Have you ever stayed too long at your job, or in a relationship, or in a habit for too long out of fear of losing something, because it just felt comfortable or safer than going off into the unknown? That's what this blood moon is asking you to release. It's that hesitation. Stop circling back to what doesn't nourish you. There's nothing left here. Do not come back here to try to get any more out of these cups. So you're going to need to let go of, clinging to these energies. You already know that they don't hold what you need, so it's time to walk away. And walking away is going to bring you gifts on the other side of this blood moon. And it's the Queen of Pentacles reversed. And I know that this reversal seems like, oh, you won't be getting money. But money isn't everything. It signals that once you release the old attachments, you'll be gifted with a new relationship to your own worth. And that's something that money can't buy. You'll stop overgiving. Once you know your worth, you'll stop measuring your value by what others do for you or by what you do for others. Instead, you'll invest that energy into yourself. This gift is the ability to nurture your own garden. The Queen of Pentacles has the money for everyone else to nurture this garden for her. But again, when you learn how to nurture your own garden, to establish independence and prioritize your stability and your self-care without guilt, that's the real gift. And so this blood moon is acting like a spotlight and a wake-up call. It's showing you the ways that you've been in the shadows, dimming yourself. You've been resisting moving on from what no longer serves you. The judgment is saying, it's time to answer the call. You hear that horn. The Eight of Cups reverse shows you that you already know what you need to leave behind. You just need the courage to do it. I know it's hard. There's actually quite a few things that I can think of right now that I've been just holding on to. And so this reading is for me as well. It takes courage. So by the power of the blood moon in Pisces, we're claiming the courage to leave it all behind. And then this Queen of Pentacles reversed, it reveals that on the other side there's a gift, the ability to reclaim your resources, your time, your energy, and direct them toward your own growth. Who have you been too dependent on? Who have you been afraid to leave behind? What have you been afraid to leave behind? Do it, I dare you, because you'll discover that you don't need to prove your worth through constant service. You're already worthy of being seen and supported just as you are. And so this blood moon is your initiation to step into visibility, clarity, and self-trust. By walking away from what's drained you, you step into your rightful place in the spotlight, fully aligned with your truth. I want to pull some doodles. This is my doodle box. I've been collecting my doodles for years and just putting them in here and shuffling them. And now let me close my eyes and pull 3 doodles for you to support this reading. Spirit, please help me. 1, I need 2 more. 2, and 1 more. 3. All right, thank you. Wow, look at that. It looks like sacred geometry. It's a mandala. These are very calming when I draw these. It's all about symmetry. This was hand drawn by me. I was really into Moroccan tiles and sacred geometry at the same time. And so that was the inspiration for this doodle. And I just love how it's so symmetrical. I signed it Have Max. That was a way that I would sign my art years ago. And so stepping back into the spotlight, here comes Have Max again. Black love. Wow. And I see this cute little character. He's got propellers on his eyes and a lot more geometric shapes here. And so those two are cool. You can do what you will with this one, figuring out how that might apply to you. And then Sabbath day. And interesting, it's another Moroccan reference. He's wearing a fez, that hat there. They're rocking some afros that kind of connects to the black love. This looks like some ancient Phoenician, and the Sabbath day connects to Hebrew, Israelite themes. And so, wow, that is all that came out for your reading in terms of doodles on the blood moon. Hey, let me know in the comments if this resonates with you, and subscribe if this resonates with you as well. Thank you for watching. This has been your reading, Pile 2. And until next time, peace. Love you. All right, Pile 3. This is your reading. Welcome. You picked this card. This card is called Witnessed by Ancestors. And it's a part of my Oracle Coloring Pages Club. And so when you scan this QR code, it will take you to a reading that is all about this card right here. So while you listen to the message, you can also color the matching coloring page that goes with this. See what I did there? And so the Oracle Coloring Page is a monthly club that you receive 8 new cards every month. We've been doing this since March, and look how many cards there are so far. And they all contain my original art. I'm an illustrator, and I'm creating my own Oracle deck, and you can collect these cards, 8 cards at a time, and build your deck as well. So if you are interested in joining the Oracle Coloring Pages Club, the link is in the description. And maybe you also saw me painting this on a skirt in a previous video. It was a design inspired by this card, and so this card has come up a couple of times before, and it's all about your ancestors, to remind you that you're not walking alone. This blood moon energy is illuminating the thread between you and those who came before you, and it reminds you that your struggles, your courage, and your victories, they ripple backwards and forward through your lineage, because your ancestors learn from you as well. You don't just learn from them and their lives and get wisdom directly from them. The things that you're choosing to do also shows your ancestors something new, and so the ripple goes backward and forward through your lineage. And your ancestors are always seeing you, they're always guiding you, and they're always calling you to rise above the old cycles. And so that's why there's all these eyes and the growth all around, and it seems to be a cycle here because it is a continuous loop. So really cool first message for you, Pile 3. And then the first thing I asked was, how is this blood moon going to affect you? How is it affecting you is the 7 of Swords reversed. And the eclipse brings exposure and clarity. It's a full moon, so there's no darkness. It's going to bring some light. That red light is an interesting light that the moon will be giving off tonight, but I think that's why it came out in reverse, because whatever is being hidden, whatever self-deception or secrets or half-truths, anybody who's being sneaky around you, that's all coming into the light of the blood moon and exposing everything. So think about if that's even been happening in the last couple of days. It could be a revelation about someone or others, or it could be about your own patterns that is being revealed. Maybe avoidance, and now you're not able to avoid it anymore because it's exposed. The blood moon will nudge you toward honesty and accountability and integrity, because remember, your ancestors are watching, so they're urging you to live in full alignment with your values. There's values that get passed down through your family line, and that's what you're being asked to live up to. And there's something that you're being asked to release, and that is the King of Wands reversed. And so here, you're being asked to let go of toxic leadership models. This king, he's toxic. He's rotten. And so that's why it came out reverse, because you want to let go of anyone representing this energy. Anyone who's egoic or domineering, or maybe that's in yourself or others around you, but it's the energy that has to go. So it's pointing out to you any manipulation or abuse of authority, and it's time to release relationships or roles where the power is being misused, so that you can step out of those dynamics where pride or arrogance are blocking your real growth. And I know exactly what this is talking about in my case. There's definitely something that has come to my attention, but I'm going to choose to keep it concealed. But I feel like you know who it is in your life too. It's just time to let that go. And maybe you did like me, you already took the step to let that go. And if you did, I'm proud of you, because it takes courage to stand up to those types of energies. And what gifts are going to be waiting on the other side of this full moon if you did that, or if you do it? The world. The ancestors want to give you the world. And so this is a card of completion and fulfillment and wholeness, and you are just about there. The gift is waiting for you on the other side of this blood moon. A sense of closure. See how it's closed? This has a loop going all the way around too. Isn't that interesting? Your ancestors want to bring you the ending of that cycle and victory. Victory is yours. Look at you, the victor. So you will feel alignment between your inner truth and your outer life. This world promises that integration, so it's a chance to step into the new phase and to have confidence, carrying wisdom of the past struggles in one hand and a love for yourself in the other. And you're no longer bound by those things. Look at that. You're not bound by it. It's outside of you. You're protected from it. And so your ancestors are protecting you, because it's a moment of revelation and accountability for you, with your ancestors watching. And so the illusions and secrets that once kept you stuck are dissolving. You're being asked to release those toxic expressions of power, whether it's someone else's dominance or your own need to control outcomes, because sometimes that's what's toxic. It might not even be anyone else, but just our own need to control the outcome of things. But there's so much going on behind the scenes that you're not aware of, so you have to let go of those like ego-driven battles and free yourself to live in authenticity and in integrity, because that's the name of the game. And the gift on the other side is profound. A cycle of struggling, closing, a deep sense of wholeness, and the ability to step into a new chapter with clarity and with peace. And so the world reminds you that your ancestors are celebrating your growth. They see you breaking the chains that they could not. And you are completing that karmic lesson. And the blood moon is the portal through which you step into your fullest self. All right? And let's pull some doodles now. This is my doodle box. I've been collecting my doodles for years now, and I'm just going to shuffle them up a little bit and see what comes out. I'm going to close my eyes. Spirit, please help me to pick 3 doodles for pile 3. That goes with their reading. There's 1. 2. One more, Spirit. Get 1. 3. That took me too long. Okay. So this came out in pile 2. You might be called to pile 2 as well. But this is about symmetry, and the Moroccan tiles are what inspired me to create this doodle. But it's sacred geometry. I've always been interested in patterns that you can create with shapes, and how everything in reality comes down to these essential types of shapes. And you can see it like dotted at first, but then it comes into material hard lines, right? But maybe you like sacred geometry as well. Wow, look at this one that came out. I see some agents down here and some masks. These are definitely some masks. And so that person seems to be holding some masks, and they finally took them off in the face of these agents who are watching, and he definitely isn't happy. He has a frown. So that speaks to the reading about those toxic energies that had a stronghold for the longest time, but then you finally, with the power of the blood moon, can come along and remove those masks that aren't your authentic self, because those are some crocodiles, right? They are that type of character, the reptilians, the ones that hide behind those narcissistic, toxic, negative energies. And the crocodile is a sly energy, and they smile, and they have those sharp teeth. And when they cry, those are crocodile tears, they're fake. And so you can do what you will with these images to apply them to yourself or your own life. But if this reading resonated with you, please give me a like, or also subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Love you.